All right, shalom to let Israel, hope let Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, West Indians, Haitians, foreign Israelites, elected in the nations scattered across four corners of the earth. When you give all praise to Barak, was shy. Barak, was shy. Gotta give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Name of the Heavenly Father, everybody normally calls God. His true name in the ancient Hebrew, which is in the last one, Qadash. His true name is Yahawah. Bahasham means in the name of Yahawashi, the Holy One of Israel. Everybody normally calls Jesus Christ, so-called Negro from the tribe of Judah, who was slain at the foundation of the earth for the salvation of the elect Israel. You got 2/3 of the wicked Israelites here in America, Babylon the Great, and the other wicked Israelites scattered across the four corners of the earth. It'll come back to the loins of the elect. Shalom, now you sincere believers out there tuning in. Oh, wait. Hold on. So we talked about the 2/3 of the wicked Israelites that'll come back to the loins of the elect after the destruction. And the Rawchaa Qadash, the Holy Spirit that has been bestowed upon the men, the Heavenly Father gave his only begotten Son out of the world to complete this work. So we always want to give double honors to those and the apostles, great millstone, let us all to this truth. Been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy and forgiveness and baptize are part of the elect to the hopeful elect. Lord, will be part of that number. Lord, will this be edified us who fear in the name of the Lord, striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah 3:5. It is not slack. 2 Peter 3:9 unto a ring. 2 Ezra chapter 5, verse 42. Shalom, now you sincere believers out there tuning in here on after Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash, Barak. We're just gonna get to a part one. I really wanted to do more on this. Kind of ran out of time. Been a pretty busy day, but I've been wanting to go into several articles dealing with several things, but we're gonna just go with this for right now. This is just something that Preacher R he had sent to me. He had sent to me the other day, and I've been really wanting to go into this. Let me say.
Was as simple as hitting record. With Riverside.
Okay. And I'm not going to go through the whole video, but, it gives a good gist of, good intro into this lesson, going into, of course, end time topics, things that are going on in the earth. We're going to definitely deal with that as well. So, I can make it back later and finish that off. The title is Concentration on Spiritual and Mental Toughness on the Margins of Salvation. So, a lot of things that Jake deal with is loneliness, and to be in this truth, Jake, you have to be used to being on your own sometimes. Not saying on your own where you ain't got brothers around and they watching over you. What we're saying is make sure that you have your path set out to where, you have a job or something, you're working. Maybe you might not have a woman around all the time. You got to put yourself in position to train your spiritual and mental toughness, because a lot of people see, just like I was listening to the elder in New York, he was talking about, exercising, and that's what exercises your mental toughness, like cardio helps your heart, stuff like that. So you want to make sure that you're exercising yourself spiritually and mentally, and those are the margins of salvation. That's what brings you to a better chance of getting out of here, man. Facilitating both of those things. And one thing a lot of men do is they don't really understand the truth of what love is. Okay, love is keeping the commandments, honoring Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And a lot of people, they try to compare love to what they have with a woman.
You confuse being
and a lot of people don't understand that the Lord looks at Israel as a woman. So that's true love. What the Lord has, the love that the Lord has for Israel, that's true love, man. What he did for us, that's more valuable than anything that you can have with a woman. And we're going to do a part one of this. It's not going to be long. We're going to go into this whole video though, but we're not going to go into it today. We're going to maybe do about 4 minutes. Then we're going to stop. We're going to put some precepts in. And then when I come back tonight, Rawchaa, Lord allows me in the spirit to go through this, go through some other things that's going on in the earth. We got King Charles going over to Canada right now, and they're coming against America, Babylon the Great right now. It's a big deal. When we got Great Britain visiting, okay, on a specific topic, and that's going against America Babylon the Great. It's definitely prophecy. It's definitely stuff that we've been looking for, and it's exciting times. We're going to go into some other stuff too. So we're going to go into this thing about women. It says the truth about love. Why understanding this can change everything. This is like I said, I got a video from a very very knowledgeable brother, and definitely something to go over and keep Jake in remembrance of how women work, man. Okay, they supposed to work. They supposed to want us. They supposed to. You can't get a woman and want her to want to fit in her lifestyle. It's got to be the opposite, man. Or you're gonna get played, man. You're gonna get played. So Lord willing, it's edifying to the flock.
It always begins the same way. She doesn't look at you as you are. She looks at who you could become. You feel it, that spark in her gaze. But is it admiration or is it calculation? You think she sees you, but she's measuring you, sizing you up, not as a man, as a blank canvas, a space for her fantasy, a role she's been rehearsing since childhood. And you're just the latest actor to step into the scene. You were never chosen for who you are. You were chosen for who you might become in her mind. And Jung warned us, not with warm encouragement, with the sharp edge of brutal clarity. He didn't give motivational speeches. He dissected the human psyche like a surgeon. He called it the unconscious, a force moving beneath everything we do, silent, invisible, undeniable. And in that deep current, he discovered something terrifying about women. He saw that many don't fall in love with men. They fall in love with their own image of a man, a projection, a symbol, a psychological script. And here's the twist. Most of them don't even know they're doing it. They're not being manipulative. They're not lying. They truly believe they've found someone special. But what they've actually found is a reflection, an idea they've projected outward. And you become that reflection until you don't. Because one day you stop saying the right lines. You stop fitting the fantasy. And when that happens, the story continues, but without you. You'll replace the actor, not rewrite the script. Jung called this projection the animus, the masculine spirit that lives inside every woman. And when it's immature, undeveloped, unexamined, it becomes tyrannical. It debates without logic. It controls without empathy.
Right? So I want to pull up a scripture real quick going into this to make my point, because I got some other ones with it, but I don't want to forget these. This is why when it talks about that masculinity that's in every woman, right? This is what it means when it talks about in Genesis 3:14. This is the curse that he put on all women. Okay. And like I said, if it's not under controlled variables, you can't tame your woman, then it's going to be out of fucking control. Okay. It's going to be out of control. So if you want a woman, you have to tame her, Jake. If you don't tame her, then she's going to be out of control, and she's not going to have any empathy. She's not going to have any. And I finally started watching it's called The Walking Dead. I've been hearing so much about it. That's good, and you know, I finally started watching it, and there was one thing the dude said in like the first video. He said, "Yeah, my woman said something to me right in front of my child that I wasn't cool with. Like I would never do that." And that's how it is when you don't really got no control of your woman, man. She just say what the fuck ever, man. She's got to know that you're the fucking prize. She's got to know that you're the one who's running shit around here. And if she doesn't, she's just painting some picture of like, you're fitting her lifestyle. And we're not here for that shit over here, man. Not in GMS. We're not doing that weak ass shit. This is Genesis chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow, right? And thy conception, right? And I really want to look up that word real quick. Conception. We're gonna look up that word real quick in the blue letter. We're gonna go into this because I got at least 30 minutes to go into this. You know, I usually do about an hour, but I gotta go do shit. So I'm you know, I meant to do it earlier, but you know, I ended up on the phone and with an old friend back in the day, and he started wanting to ask questions about the truth. So you know me, I started diving in, and then we on the phone for an hour 30 minutes talking about Yahawashi. You know, so I'm a little running out of time. So, anyways, let me get back. Right, conception. This is the curse that he put on all women. So I said the deep thing about women. Okay, that's why he said that. Okay, this stuff is scriptural. What he's talking about. There's a deep, hidden, crazy ass shit going on with every woman on the planet. And if you don't know how to tame that shit, you don't need a woman, Jake. Because we are the tamers. Okay, it's just like a wild horse. You can make it a tame one, but it's got to be
Strong's H 2032.
You got to believe.
Hey Rayon.
Hey Rayon.
Hey Rayon.
You got to believe in Yahawashi. So physical conception, pregnancy, conception, right? Right. It says that. We're gonna go to the root word, and then we're gonna look it up in the dictionary. Right. To conceive, become pregnant, child, pronunciate the right beat to conceive, become pregnant, right? Devise, right? So conception is talking about birth. Okay, so that's why when a woman gets pregnant, she's super emotional and shit and fucking crazy and shit. And when they're on their period too, the fucking emotional shit. Okay, you have to know how to tame that shit. Okay? Because this is the second meaning of it.
Conception.
Conception of forming or devising a plan or idea. Okay? So when a woman meets you and stuff, they already got a whole damn map planned out on what they want you to be for them. And if you don't be it, then they're going to just leave you and go with somebody else. That's the curse that he put on women. Okay? They always have this route where, and back in the scriptures, we were doing class this last weekend, and that was one of the things we went over about we us as Israelites, we don't believe in divorce. All right, unless it has to do with a woman committing adultery or she not, you know, just being a damn just nuisance to you. There was ways to handle that stuff. Okay, because they're supposed to, there wasn't no divorce. You just get with a woman you with her forever, man. That's it. That's this is weird ass Esau shit, man, they doing. Okay? And that's giving these women this power to just sit here and create this canvas. Like, if I don't got this, I'm gonna just replace the actor. They just think we just like some damn Clorox wipes or something. No, we're the fucking rulers of the earth. Men. We run stuff. Y'all don't run shit. And whatever you want to say about it, we're gonna find out in the end who's running stuff. So in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. So what it means by thy desire shall be to thy husband means that they're going to desire, okay? They're going to desire to rule over you, okay? So you don't tame them, Jake. They're going to run over your ass, okay? That's why it says right here, that's why it talks about, Jake, keep your drawers on. Don't be damn, okay, letting them run your ass. Barak, chapter 25, verse 25. Give the water no passages, right? Women can't even hold water, okay? They bust that shit and have babies, okay? They can't hold wisdom like us, okay? That's what it's saying too. Don't let it just do whatever the fuck she want to do. You have to make sure that you're running shit. Neither a wicked woman liberty to gather bride, because then what do they start doing? They start doing this, debating without logic and without empathy, man. So you can't just let them just do whatever they want to do. Okay? People be thinking like, You just like got these people who are just like, babe, you can do whatever you want. I trust you. Well, you can give it a will. Don't be come around us that weak ass shit. We're not doing that over here. Okay? This is how you train your spiritual and mental toughness, Jake. Can't let these women run shit. All right? Or you're gonna fuck it up. Okay? You see how she did with the damn serpent. You know? And of course, that's all prophecy to happen. But this is lessons for us in this time. You can't be making the same damn mistakes, Jake. It's been thousands of years. It's been damn 12, 13,000 years. Get over your fucking self and start acting right. That's what we're saying as prophets, all of us. Okay? Get over yourself and start acting right. Stop letting these women run over your ass. Have respect for yourself. Okay? And stop making yourself available for everybody. Don't make yourself always available for everybody, because then that's when you get respect. You know? Continuing.
It moralizes without responsibility, becomes a force that overtakes her voice, her thoughts, her choices, without her even realizing it. And you mistake it for passion, for depth, for love. You think she's fallen for you. But really, she's fallen for a character she's created. And the moment you fall out of character, the moment you start acting like yourself, the fantasy collapses. She pulls back.
See, that's why you got a lot of people, they get a woman and they had this fantasy and then they start doing some weird shit after you start really showing them your true self. That's why you show them your true self straight off the bat. That's why you got that one video where it had Lil Wayne. He was talking about, he said that rap, he said you all about her and she all about hers. That's what it's saying. This right here. And this ain't gonna be something comfortable for everybody to, you know, want to watch. But this stuff, Jake, you gotta know, man. You gotta know, like, you can't be out here simping for these women, man. And this is nobody in general, because everybody around us is strong men. There ain't nobody over here coming around us and his weak ass men like that, man. You're not gonna last. So everybody around us, like, this is just basically, you know, a good lesson for people who are coming in the truth. And you need to, you know, concentrate on your mental, spiritual and mental toughness, man. Okay, and realize the evil side of women. Women are just naturally fucking evil, man. Okay, we got Eve starting to admit that shit right off the bat, man. Continuing.
She grows cold. She says you've changed, but the truth is you never were the man she imagined. And Jung didn't whisper this truth. He shouted it from the edge of the abyss. He called it a kind of possession, a state where the woman isn't acting from her own soul anymore, but from a ghost, a masculine ghost living inside her, and you fall victim to it because no one taught you how to see it.
Right, and this is right, taught you, okay, going into Jezebel, other certain women who did this to men. Samson's wife, you know, these are the women. You know, there's something evil in these women, man. You got to understand that, man. And if you can't tame it, that's how she gonna be doing, pointing her finger at you like she running shit. You ain't run. Sit your little ass down somewhere. All right, you ain't running shit. We ain't saying we just hate women. What we saying is that if you not in order, we don't want your ass. Like, if you're not looking at us in a humble and lowly state of like, yeah, this man is what I need to do. I'm here for him. Okay. And she starts making sure that she creates herself to where she fits you. Then, bruh, your mental and spiritual toughness is low if you let him do that to you, you know? And, you know, like I said, I don't know anybody personal who's going through this right now. What I'm saying is that this is the kind of stuff that needs to be continually taught, because this is the main majority of men in the earth, man. Okay? Like, if a woman doing that to me, I'm gonna be like, look, I'm out of here. You won't listen? Bye. That's how you gotta be. Okay? And if they want to fit somebody else, an actor in there, sure. Do whatever you want to do. But you only get one shot with us as prophets. And after you do that and you fuck up one else, your ass get blown up here in America, Babylon the Great. And we're not fucking playing with that shit.
You confuse being wanted with being valued.
Yeah.
You think desire means understanding. You assume being chosen means you're known. But you're not. You're playing a role in someone else's story.
Right.
And when your lines stop matching her expectations, The curtain falls. She replaces you, not out of cruelty, but out of necessity. You simply don't match the fantasy anymore.
And that's how women think. We're just gonna stop right there. We're gonna read some more precepts, and we're gonna get out of here, and we're gonna go into part 2 later. But that's how they think. That's how most women think. They want a man that fulfills their fantasy. We're not here to fulfill your shit. We're here to fulfill the word, the will of Yahawashi. And this is how the majority of our people are. Wicked Israelites, that's how they are. With Yahawashi, they have this fantasy of smooth words and everything being all nice and comfortable for them, and everything just going great for them. And then as soon as the Lord starts talking about suffering and trials and tribulations, they want to run from Yahawashi. That's how the majority of Israel is. Israel is considered as a woman. This can be compared to Israel. A lot of people compare this just to men and women. No, this is bigger than that, man. We talking about nations of people. Okay? And that's why the Lord said that when we went and because we didn't fit the fantasy in our own minds, us as a nation went out and started dealing with these other nations. And that's why the Lord was like, nah, I'm not going to deal with y'all. I'm going to let y'all go for a little bit so you can understand that you got to be under my control, or I'm not going to let you, you're not going to live a good life. You're not going to have a fulfilling life, you know? And that's what happened to us. That's why we're here right now, going through all this bullshit. This is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 26. But he's allowing us to get right because he's giving us the understanding to be able to explain to Jake, don't be doing that shit, bro. This is Proverbs chapter 6, verse 26. For by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. And that's how Jake is mostly out here, even especially these Eves. They just go out and just date a whole bunch of men. And as soon as they like, oh, you don't fit my fantasy, I'm going to just get another man. And all the women do it. Not just Eve. Eve is just the worst of it because she's, considered as the mother of all living. We're talking about the so-called black woman. She's the worst at being like, oh, I'm done with you. But you got your sincere sisters that wasn't like that too. We're not saying all of them. We're talking about the ones that's still out there doing it to this day. That's what we're talking about. But in the end, they don't even know what they're doing. Proverbs 9, verse 13, a foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knoweth nothing, right? So that's the foolish woman who do what? They had this whole thing in their mind where they got to envision somebody in a man in their mind, but as soon as they stop doing what they doing, then they can just be like, you can just replace them. That's not how they're supposed to be thinking, man. But that's the curses that the Lord put on them, and that's the deep secret inside of every woman. The Lord has formatted them to be the goddamn enemy to us, man. Okay, so you have to be careful with them. Not all of them are going to listen to what you're saying. Man, where is it at? I probably wrote it down wrong. Let me just do this one. And I'm going to go find it later. Because I got to get out of here. 1 Corinthians 11, verse 9. I got to go down the street and do all types of shit and then come back. Now I got to get all my shit ready. 1 Corinthians 11, verse 9. But we're going to go into this later tonight, Lord willing. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. Right? So this is what we know, man. Like, you can't be, your concentration on women has to be different than the world's. You can't be out here concentrating on what their needs are. If she not pleased to be with you, let her go, Jake. Let her go. But be you, man. That's the whole point of the intro. This is the intro of the lesson I want to do. But be you. That's all we're saying. Like, be yourself. That's always been something that's mentioned in the brotherhood. Be yourself, man. Okay? Because that's what is going to help you focus. So, the other articles that we're about to go into later, after we finish this one later, is King Trump or King Charles arrives in Canada to support the country against Trump. Then you got Putin's adrenochrome task force, they bust the underground Israeli child trafficking network, right? So we starting to find out more about these small hats, how wicked they are. Got a World War III alert talking about Germany. Basically, they just approved Ukraine to use to nuke Russian targets. So now nuclear weapons are starting to be authorized. Okay, it's a big deal. Okay, then we got some other little things going on. Nightclub market shrinking as young people stay home. We're going to go into that. Going into some shootings throughout Memorial Day weekend as well, you know, and a couple cities that are going out of they're like plunging in the darkness and whatnot and chaos, and it's going in there through, you know, the electrical system and stuff, the electrical grid. They talking about building a whole gold dome over US, and they can't even keep their lights in their cities, man. It's not going to work. Then you got grapefruit-sized hell pelts, Texas, and Memorial Day weekend. So the Lord was showing that this Memorial Day weekend stuff ain't right, man. And he was bringing chaos on some of these Edomites, man. Look at that. That golf ball is the size of an OU hat, man. And it's definitely, you know, kind of spiritual to me that it has an OU hat next to it. You know, I'm out here in Oklahoma, you know, with the brothers. So, hey, that's where we're going to stop right now. Lord willing, edifying to the flock. You know, I'll be trying to remember and to mention it. But, yeah, this is GMS Barak Allah coming out of Oklahoma camp. GMS Oklahoma, you know, one of the younger brothers. So, Lord willing, edifying to the flock. Kwame Yasharala. Shalom to elect to Israel, hopefully elect to Israel, Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, foreign Israelites, like the nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. When to give our praise to Barak there was shot. Double honors to the elders and apostle, great millstone. Let us all to this truth. Peace and blessings to the elect. Lord willing, edifying to the flock. Wa abba. Shalom.